morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good. How are you today?
I'm doing well.
Excellent. Great to hear.
Yes, sir. It's a beautiful morning.
Yes, it is.
Yes, sir. I'm still in Kissimmee, Florida, and I didn't plan to shoot this much content while I was down here, but man, I don't know. Maybe being off work, man, my juices started getting flowing, my creative juices, and it's a lot came to mind. I've been writing down a lot, and this location is important to me. So where I am right now, I am at Kissimmee Lakefront Park. And obviously it's a beautiful location. You can see the B-roll and the shots that I took. It's just an incredible park. It's a beautiful park here in Kissimmee, and it's obviously a lakefront park, so it's right on the front of this lake, and it's a pretty huge lake. They actually have a big bass tournament here every year as well, so good fishing. Like to come down here and do some fishing on the lake every now and again. But people come out, they work out, they walk. Just a good vibe, great vibe in the park. But even this lady's over here roller skating right now, and there's a guy earlier roller skating. I'll show you some footage of that too, man. He was really getting it. But why is this nostalgic and important for me? Well, this is actually the location that my wife and I got married. We got married right here in this park. We were supposed to have it on this lawn right over here. That's where we had rented and booked and had that set up, and probably about an hour, just over an hour before our wedding, it started raining, and we planned for it, so we actually ended up having it inside the community house right over there, and I'll show you some footage of that too. But we ended up having the wedding inside of the community house just because of the rain, and it turned out great. It turned out beautiful. So that was August 2nd, 2015. That is when my wife and I got married here, and I had people from South Carolina come down. I had my people from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, in the Bridge Church and the campus ministry I was with at the time. They came all the way from Baton Rouge to Kissimmee, Florida to see Kim and I get married. So just a special day, special time in my life, and my wife's life, and my family's life. And it's always nostalgic, right, coming back here. So every time we come to visit, it's only about just over 10 minutes from my sister-in-law's house. So every time we come down here, I try to get over here and get some time just in the park. Kim and I came back after 1 year of being married. We took our 1 year anniversary pictures here as well. So just a beautiful place, man, and we love being here. I love being here. But just getting into it, right? Thinking about my dad for this video, man. Yeah, so just my dad's role in the wedding. Yeah, so August 2015, in June of that year, June 2015, that's when I had officially moved from Baton Rouge back to South Carolina. And one of the driving factors in that move was my dad's health at the time. And so a little bit earlier that year, they found some blockages. Not early, I would say like right at about that time, right? That May, June time, they found some blockages around his heart and the arteries leading to his heart. And they needed to do open heart surgery. And so I was still in Baton Rouge at the time when they did the first surgery. But my dad had open heart surgery, and I wasn't there the first time. They went in and they did whatever they did to repair those blockages. And I learned a lot about open heart surgery at the time. And then they closed the chest back up and kind of wired it shut, as they do. And he just was on recovery, and I was still in Baton Rouge. And what happened was they leave certain tubes in, and I don't necessarily know why, I can't necessarily remember why, but they leave tubes in during the time of recovery, and then as you recover and you get better, they can kind of just pull those tubes out. Well, one of those tubes in my dad's chest had got wrapped around a wire or something, and when they went to pull it out, it wouldn't come out. And they kind of tried everything to get it to come out, but it wouldn't come out. So they actually had to go in and open his chest cavity up again just to get that tube out. And I was like, okay, I'm coming home with that one. you know, because he was doing well in the recovery. But to have to go back and have them open it back up again, it really put him in a place of just fear, nervousness, worry, right? He didn't want that to happen. Nobody did, and it shouldn't have happened. It really should not have happened. But I was like, I'm coming home for that one. And so I got home in time. I made my move, and I got home kind of a few days before they were going to go in and open him back up again. And so I was there for that. And that was probably about first surgery was in June. That was like late June, early July when that second surgery happened. And it's a pretty tough surgery to go through, right? If you know anybody that has had open heart surgery, it's a significant recovery that comes from that. And so he had to go through it twice. And so that was a month before our wedding, right? About August 2nd. And so the thought was, could my dad make it to the wedding here in Kissimmee? And it was 8 hours from Spartanburg to Kissimmee for the wedding. And there was some real doubt that he could make it because of his recovery, because of what he was going through, right? He wasn't even really out of the hospital. He spent, honestly, man, it was close to probably 2 to 3 months that he spent in the hospital from the first surgery to, right, getting out after the second surgery. It was just an intensive time in his life, in all of our lives. And so during that time, like, the doctors didn't know that he could make it. And I remember a few things about my dad. One was his strength, and that the doctors and nurses told him, okay, in order to, for us to even consider letting you out of the hospital, you're gonna have to be able to walk around, right, this wing. And it was like a rectangular, the nursing station and stuff was all in the middle, and so there was like this rectangular loop, in the heart center of the hospital. And they said, you got to walk the loop. We got to see you walking every day. And my dad was like, I'm gonna do it right now, because he hated the hospital, like hated being in the hospital, did not want it at all. In fact, right before he died, he actually made me and my mom and my aunt promise. He said, listen, no matter what happens right now, I think he knew he was going to die, but he said, no matter what happens, do not send me back to the hospital. He did not want to go. And he knew the risk, and he knew he wanted to fight, but he's like, I just do not want to go back to the hospital. No matter what happens, don't send me back. So he's in the hospital. Wedding's less than a month away. My dad wants to be there, but he's in the hospital and he's recovering. And so he has this open heart wound that needs to heal. And he's doing everything well, just the wound isn't healed. They're worried about it getting infected. They're worried about, we can't let this wound get infected, and we gotta help this wound to heal. But my dad's like, I want to be at this wedding. And the doctors wanted to support him to make it to the wedding. Why? Because it was a big point in life. So one of the things that they did was they put what's called this wound vac, where it kind of seals it, and then it vacuums, right, a lot of the, moisture or whatever, but it helps the wound to heal. And so they put that on my dad. And probably about 2 weeks before the wedding, they let my dad come home. So he's home, and there was a home health nurse that came to check on him, once a day, once every other day. And my mom was trained to change the wound vac, and I was trained to change the wound vac. And so we were doing that as well. But he still needed to get the clearance to come down to the wedding. And gratefully, a few days before the wedding, they gave him the clearance to make the trip down with this portable wound vac. They gave him this wound vac, but it was portable to where he could take it with him down to Orlando and Kissimmee, and he did. And they stayed at this little hotel over here, not too far from Disney. And they came and they were at the rehearsal dinner and all of the festivities and everything we had for the wedding. They were there, and he was present. And I'll show you some clips of him, even, no lie, with the wound vac, probably about a month after open heart surgery, For the second time, he's dancing in the middle of the dance floor for the wedding, man. I'll show you a photo of that. But that's just who my dad was, right? He was gonna live life, and he wasn't going to let things stop him. He was gonna live his life the way that he wanted, in the most beautiful way that he knew how, and love people, and show up for me, which he did. He showed up here. And in fact, right as we left the wedding, we actually drove away in his car. Show you some clips of that as well. We got in his car. It was his car that we got in, and we drove away from the wedding. And we actually didn't even drive to like the hotel in his car. We just drove like around the block where my wife's car was waiting. And we switched out the stuff from his car to our car, and they met us there, and he got his car back. Because my dad, if you know my dad, he was like, "You're not taking my car," you know. So Chrysler 300 with the 20s on it. This is my dad's whip, and he kept it clean. And we're trying to keep it clean now, just in honor of him. But yeah, so we got in the joint and we drove away in his car. And that was just my dad, right? He was gonna show up. He was gonna be present. He was gonna show love. And I think about just how hard he fought to make it to my wedding after what he had been through. It's amazing, man. It's amazing. Another big moment of pride and joy when I think about my dad. And in this location, right, we took our family shots right over here, right, kind of behind the camera back over there. That's where we took the shots, and my dad was there in that. And you can't even tell in that time, right, that was about a month after having open heart surgery for the second time. And I wrote in the song, right, I see you walking right in front of me, and I realized that that's the heart I got in me. And that's where that line came from. It's where after his surgery, he was proving to the nurses that, hey, I'm ready to get out of this hospital, but I'm gonna prove to you that I can do it. I'm not gonna let this stop. I'm gonna keep fighting. I'm gonna keep persevering. I'm not gonna give up, because my family needs me. There's people out there that need me, and I need them. Their heart of strength, their heart of perseverance, their heart of heart of my dad, right? And I know I still carry it inside of me. It's a beautiful thing, man, when I think about it. So I know I talked a lot. I don't know how in the world I'm gonna edit all of this. I don't know, and get it down to a watchable size. I don't even know, for real. But training wise, I'm here at the park, and I've talked for a while. But today's a little bit of strength and mobility work, so I am gonna run for a little bit. I'm gonna stop and do some strength and mobility work, and then I'll probably run for a little bit at the end. Nothing too crazy. Yesterday kind of not blew my legs up, but they're a little bit of sore. So just some mobility and kind of strength work today to kind of open the hips up again, get the body feeling good, and try to hit another good long run tomorrow. He is killing me. Real. But try to get another good long run in tomorrow, and then Sunday will be a rest day. We'll be hitting the road and driving, so I might stop and kind of stretch the legs out a little bit. But Sunday will be an off day before we get back into it on Monday. And Monday is when I will start my marathon training block that I have planned. This is just like, let me run in some cool locations, do some cool stuff in some cool places. But Monday will be, okay, this is the plan I have set out to kind of get to the marathon starting line healthy and prepared. And so I'll go through that with you guys as well. Man, I don't know how I'm gonna condense this now, y'all. A lot of footage here, a lot of talking. I got to. All right, peace.